Where does Piggy take place? It's been a question that everybody has been asking for the past 5 years. Some people said Piggy takes place in the UK.
Alright, okay, so I'm recording this for the people on Twitter that are saying that Piggy does not take place in the UK or the Northern Hemisphere. Okay, listen, that means they're either going from here to here, or from here to here, or from here to here.
Others said that it takes place in countries such as Canada or even the USA. But you'd be surprised to hear that all these answers are wrong. And now I'm here with a solution, a Piggy theory. Because I just found out where Piggy takes place. So first we have to pull up the world map, because we could be anywhere. However, what if I told you that we could already eliminate 98% of the countries? In Book 2 Chapter 6, The Factory, Willow tells the Safe Place crew that quote-unquote the military is moving up north to work on a cure. Meaning that the factory, along with the rest of the chapters before it, are taking place somewhere in the northern hemisphere. So on the world map, we could already eliminate around 60% of the world's countries. But we can learn even more, because in Book 2 Chapter 7, The Port, Willow tells Captain Budgie that we need to get across the North Sea and past. Now, if you didn't know this, the North Sea is an actual sea on our planet, and it is located in Europe. Meaning that Piggy's Book 1 and Book 2 are taking place in a country that has access to the North Sea. So what countries are near the North Sea? Well, we have France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, Norway, Denmark, and of course, the United Kingdom. Yes, we'll talk about this one specifically very soon. But this means that only the countries in green can actually be where Piggy takes place. 98% of the world has just been eliminated from this question thanks to these two words, North Sea. But now we have to find the location where our crew was going to. Doveport, Book 2 Chapter 9. Doveport, as the name suggests, it's a port for ships. However, we can actually tell which country Doveport is in just by looking at the landscape. These docks are massive and they were built under the mountains not so long ago, because under this giant facility we can find a really old tomb with the graves of a king and queen, meaning that civilization existed and came here a long time ago. And as I said earlier, one of the most important things to look at are the mountains and the snow. This northern area that we arrive in is fully surrounded by mountains, and everywhere you go is snowing. And this is why I want to take a look at Norway, because Norway's land is 17% covered in mountains. Not only that, but their northern areas can have snowy days for as long as 7 months. And looking at how the military was moving up north because they needed frozen areas to hide from the infected, I think it's pretty obvious to say that Doveport is in Norway. A lot of ports in Norway are hidden and surrounded by mountains. Snow in Norway is happening really often, and I should also mention that if our crew was going up north, that means that we would definitely end up in Norway, because that is the most northern country in the North Sea. So the people that believed we were stationed in France and Budgie took us to the UK, yeah, that's not accurate, because that would mean you'd be passing the English Channel, not the North Sea. So there you go, Doveport along with all these chapters are taking place in Norway. However, Norway still doesn't answer our full question, because now we have to ask ourselves, in what country have we been before Budgie took us on the Medora? Well, we can already eliminate France from this question, because a ship that would be going from France to Norway would take a few days to arrive, and we know that our crew barely stayed a few hours on this ship. So knowing this information, you could also eliminate Belgium. But let's look at the elephant in the room, the UK. Even in my latest poll, over 97% of you guys have voted that Piggy takes place in the UK, which is crazy because it doesn't. The closest port to Norway from the UK, Port of Aberdeen, found in Scotland, takes about an entire day to get to the closest Norwegian port, and this only applies if there is no heavy weather in the North Sea, Also, when have you ever seen British police officers wear these uniforms? Yeah, never. They mostly wear black and yellow uniforms. And let's not mention the buildings, because inside the port map you can find these small bricked buildings with only 3 floors and an interesting type of window. And I did my research, but I couldn't find any building in the UK similar to these ones. Also, the decoration inside all these buildings just don't match up the British infrastructure, and I could say the same things that I just said about the UK to Germany. No similar buildings, far away from Norway. There is no chance that the UK or even Germany could be the place where Piggy's book 1 story took place. Ha! Take that, Baldy. But wait, if the UK isn't the answer, then what is? Well, remember what I said about the buildings, the North Sea, that we need to be somewhere really close to Norway? Well, let me present you to the final countries on my list. The Netherlands and Denmark. What? It's not the UK? Impossible. Okay, hear me out. Both the Netherlands and Denmark almost have the same buildings that the port map has. I've been using Google Earth to explore Western Europe, and these two countries do have a lot of colorful buildings that are made out of bricks with only a few floors. It's actually pretty crazy how similar some of these places look, but there is a small problem. The Netherlands does not really have detectives that work along with police officers, and that's a big red flag, because our player is a detective hired by the Lucella Police Department. However, Denmark does, and it is known for its detectives. Denmark's detectives are also part of the Danish National Police and even local police districts, and they focus on stuff like crimes, intelligence, and investigations, just like our detective. Another red flag for the Netherlands is that once again, it's pretty far away from Norway. A trip with a cargo boat like Budgies would take more than an entire day. However, if we look at Denmark, their closest port to Norway, Hirtshals, would only take less than 6 hours, and that is the perfect time for Budgie's ship to cross the North Sea to Doveport. And everything just adds up to this theory. The buildings, the time, the location, the jobs. I theorize that Piggy takes place in Denmark and later on in Norway. The United Kingdom had never been part of this game. And that's all for today's theory. Let me know in the comments below what do you think about this video. And thanks for watching. Oh no.